So while we're on the field trip, we are going to be doing rubbings. It's the second phase of what we'll be doing. The first phase is going to be doing photographs. And again, I'll talk to you guys all about this. But just as a demonstration of how you do the rubbing and what my expectations are for that, I want to make sure I'm super clear, and I want everybody to practice so that you understand. So when we're out in the field, we are going to be doing this on stone, on bark, on different leaves, right? And even if you're not going on the field trip, you'll still be doing this, on your own at either Hopkinton State Park or Whitehall, which would be both good places. So you'll have something underneath you, and it won't be quite as neat and tidy as it is here, but it'll still be something that's rough with texture. It has to have some sort of texture on it. I'll use this side as a sample. You're going to have sheets of paper, and I'll hand out packages of these paper ahead of time so you have them, and you can, know what you'll have right in front of you. You'll also be grabbing some colors of crayons. If you are working from home this weekend, you can use your own crayons at home if you have them. But they're good if they look like this, where they're kind of just small, flat pieces without any paper on them. They work a little bit better for the idea of rubbing, okay? So when you get a piece of paper, I think I'm going to do half sheets for you guys. I think that'll work really nice, which is about this size. I want you to cover the entire thing all the way up to the edge with whatever you're rubbing, whether it's a rock, whether it's a series of leaves, whether it's bark. I want you to don't just do like a little in the middle and do it once and call it done. This is something that should take a little bit of time, all right? And you want to choose colors in the range of the paper. So, because we are going to be using these as part of a collage, so I'm assuming that the greens will probably be used for the leaves. So it'll have to be in those colors. Now, think about all the colors. Leaves are green, but when we look outside, what are the colors that we see on those leaves? Somebody shout it out. Yellow. Sometimes you see a little blue. It's like more of a blue-green. Sometimes, and we're starting to get fall colors, so you might actually use some of your yellow and red papers to do fall color leaves, and then they would have a whole different set. So no matter what it is, there's going to be a bunch of colors. You're going to start by doing these rubbings, in different areas. Now, I just did a little bit there, but I'm going to turn it, and I want you guys to do the same. You're going to turn your page, particularly for things like rocks and bark. You're going to want to move your rubbing just a little bit so it's not totally in the same direction, or you can get a little bit more right up to the edge. So you're going to want it right up to the edge all the way around in at least 3 colors, preferably 5 colors. So I just did this darker green, which shows really nice. I'm going to try this green. This is kind of more of a base tone green that works with this color. It's a little closer to the paper color, but it's going to give us a little bit of a foundation. Okay. And you can see this takes a little bit of time. Your paper might get dirty because you're going to be outside, and that's okay. But what you notice is that I am going right up to the edge, and I am working the entire paper. Now, these first 2 greens, these are nice base coats. They're great. They're green, right? But what's going to make it more interesting are these other colors. So I'm going to try some yellow. Yellow on the green, that's really nice. So I'm going to work that into it. And again, it's just changing that color ever so slightly. It makes it more complex. We haven't gotten into complex colors yet. As we work further into painting, we will talk about color theory, and complex colors. Who can guess what a complex color is? What do you guys think a complex color is? What's a guess?
Like it's probably hard to find.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it. How would you have a hard to find color? It's not like super obvious, like red. Red's red, right?
No, like a color you don't feel, or maybe like in nature,
kind of an in-between color, right? So when you have an in-between color, that's a good way to think about it. When you have an in-between color, it's multiple colors, right? So this is my blue. Hey, can somebody get me a different blue? Patrick, give me a different blue. This blue is, ooh, this one's good. This is a light blue. I want to do a light blue and a dark blue. The light blue I really like because it's hard probably to see on the video. Thank you. But the light blue kind of starts to pop some of this texture. I like this a lot. And I think it works kind of almost like a highlight, how you might see a highlight on the surface, or a little shine on the surface. So a complex color, to go back to that, is a color that's layered. It's a color that it requires more than one color in order to create it. Okay? You can imagine with painting, a primary color is what? What are my primary colors?
Red.
And?
Yellow.
Yes? Blue, right? So in order to make green, what colors do I combine? Blue and yellow. So that becomes, I know it's basic, you guys did this all in middle school, probably before, but that becomes a complex color because you're starting to bring things together. Now, we talk about it a little bit more when we're dealing with colored pencils because we're layering colored pencils, and we also talk about it a little bit more when we're using paint, okay? Because those are different pigments, and layering or combining them are what creates a complex color. So that would be considered one complete rubbing, right? And how long did I take on it? That was 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes. Let's say 7 minutes to round it up. So if you're not spending that same amount of time on each one, then you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. Does that make sense? So we want to take our time with it. You're going to find a little spot, and that's what you're going to do with your rubbings. Just to go through the expectations of the field trip, we will be photographing, and you'll take 15 photographs. I'm going to talk to you about the kind of photograph I want you to take, okay? And then you're going to do rubbings in that area as best you can so that you're matching the colors of the photographs that you're taking. Like if you did a series of rocks and you did a photograph of gray rocks, but you did your rubbings on the brown rocks, then that might not work for you. Does that make sense? Okay, so you want to make sure that you're kind of somewhat matching the area that you're working in. Yes?
If you're not going, how many rubbings do you have to do at home or at?
The same. I'll give you guys an assignment sheet. You can take it home with you. And you'll have a package just like everybody else.
Okay, and then do we still have to take the photos?
You still have to take the photos. So you'll go through the same process everybody else is going through. You'll just have to do it on your own.
Okay.
Okay?